What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Killer Drone, and welcome back to some more Terraria. In the last episode, ladies and gentlemen, we had an action-packed episode where we started creating our armor room. And in today's episode, I'm going to continue along that same train of thought with trying to get as much of the equipment that is available in pre-hard mode before we move on. And in order to do this properly, I actually had to make a second world. And in that second world, we actually spawned in a corruption biome. I tell you what, let's just go ahead and exit out of this world that we all know and love, and let's go and check out that world because we did a couple of things over there off camera just to kind of speed things along over here. So let's go ahead and save and exit. And there was a particular item that I needed out of a corruption world. So as you can see, this is our Killer's Let's Play. And then I have this secondary world that is just called Resource World. What I'm going to do with this world is any resource that I cannot get in this world due to the corruption, I'm going to be getting in this world. This is going to be kind of our secondary, let's call it a supplementary world, because it's not going to be part of the Let's Play. It's going to be a world where I just pop over to get resources from time to time. The resource that I needed to get was called the Band of Star Power, and you'll see it here in our inventory right here. This is the Arcane Band of Star Power, and this is only available if you have the Corruption Biome, because you have to destroy the Orbs of Corruption that are underground. Kind of like what we're doing in our Killer's Let's Play world, where we have to destroy the Crimson Hearts in order to spawn the Brain of Cthulhu. We have to do the exact same thing in this world in order to kill the World Eater, the worm World Eater or something like that. I think it's called Eater of Worlds, is I believe what the boss's name is called. Anyway, that's not important because we didn't really need to fight the boss. I did fight the boss and I did beat the boss, and I may cover that in a separate video later, but that is not what we were coming for. In order to get this band right here, we had to crush some shadow orbs. Now, when I was crushing shadow orbs, I got a lot of other materials, such as this shadow orb. So as you can see, I now have a brand new pet, the shadow orb, instead of the crimson heart that we would have in our world. I even have a second one here that I got as another drop. I also got some other things like a radar from this world. I got a bunch of shadow scales and the demonite ore from destroying the Eater of Worlds. So we have the ability to make some new armor as well. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys this, and on the map you can see this is where I was over here, and this is where I was destroying the hearts. What is attacking me? Oh my lord, we're in the corruption right now, so this is not good. I haven't even built a house over here. I went straight down into the corruption and took on a boss immediately. Oh, I thought he just killed our guide. What's up, Harley? How's it going? Anyway, let's go ahead and head back over into our main world, our main Let's Play world with our same character here. So that's something that, in case you guys are new to Terraria, that's something that I don't know if you guys know you can do. You can actually take your character between worlds, so you can have multiple Let's Plays with the same character. In my case, I'm going to be focusing just here on this world, but some resources I may have to pop into the other world in order to get. Anyway, why did I pop over there? In order to get the Shadow Orb and also all of these other materials. Well, there are a couple of upgrades that I can get with the Tinkerer's Workshop. So let's go ahead and check those things out. So first and foremost, I should probably clean out my inventory a bit just so we have a little bit of room and it's a bit easier to see. So let's just come over here and clean out the inventory, give the inventory a good quick stacking, you know what I mean? Let's see, is there, wow, there is not a lot that I can quick stack, is there? Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, I got the Vile Thorn while I was there as well, or the Violet Horn? Vile Thorn? I have no idea what this is called. Anyway, this is, I believe it's a poison weapon. I've gotten so many things off camera just because I'm trying to collect a lot of stuff. The Demon Scythe I got last night, and I re-rolled it over and over again. I tell you what, let's just take a look at some of our weapons first and foremost here. Some of the new things that I got off camera. Most of these things we got in our world here, but some things we did get over in the other world, like the Vile Thorn. I'll cover that here in just a second. Where is our... We need to grab out the Phoenix Blaster. Where is that guy at? Water Bolt I already showed you guys. I think the Phoenix Blaster is technically a ranged weapon. Oh, we also bought the Mini Shark real quick. This is just a automatic weapon. It's just super fast bullet shredding machine, basically. Oh, there's the Phoenix Blaster. So this is the handgun, and a couple of Hellstone bars takes your handgun into a fire handgun. It is not automatic shooting, so you have to just click around, but overall, not a bad weapon. It does 25 range damage, so we're already outdoing that with our Rapid Bee's knees, but still, I wanted to collect it, so we went ahead and got that. The Hurtful Mini Shark only does 7 range damage, but it does so much DPS over time that it's actually not that bad. Anything else that I got off camera? The Demon Scythe. The Demon Scythe is really cool, and I like using this one. Let me go ahead and put one of the File Thorns in here, because that is a magic weapon. All right, let's go ahead and head up here. So the Demon Scythe is cool. It is not exactly the best magic weapon, but it's really good for holding back hordes whenever you have one of those events, such as a blood moon or something like that. What I tend to do is I just stand right under here, and I just click. And as you can see, you have these little boomerang things that just fly through the air, and it takes out enemies. So what I'll do is I'll just spam 1 or 2 this direction, 1 or 2 that direction, and it just clears out the enemies in both directions. Then I wait a minute for more of them to spawn, and then once again, just send them off in both directions. It's actually a really good weapon, and it has 42 magic damage, so it is very, very good. I re-rolled this a lot of times because I actually really liked this spell, and I got it with the mythical prefix, the mythical demon side, so I got the mythical part, and that is actually the best roll that you can get for this equipment. It is plus 14 damage, plus 10% speed, plus 5% critical chance, minus 7 mana cost, and plus 15% knockback. This is the best mythical Scythe that you can get, and it cost me a pretty penny over here in order to get that as well. The Vile Thorn, I'm not entirely sure what this is. I think this is a poison weapon. No, it is not. Well, it may be a poison weapon, but this is not what I thought it was. Okay. I guess that's cool. This must be like a really early weapon. It's not anything special. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's go ahead and head down here and place that guy in here. I'm not super impressed with you, Mr. Vile Thorn, so you can have a place in the chest. All right, so any other weaponry that I need to store? I can probably store my bee gun at this point. Our bee gun is getting a little bit underpowered, and the demonic scythe is still doing really good. Also, our bee's knees is doing really good, so I don't really think we need the bee gun at this point. Okay, I think that is all that I'm going to do for now. I'm just going to quick stack everything that I can. And now let's talk about what we can combine. So if I go ahead and enter into my equipment chest, I should be able to grab out this Angry Band of Regeneration and combine it with the Arcane Band of Star Power. So this is a new Tinker toy that we can get. Further than that, we can go one step further, and we can make what is known as the Magic Cuffs. And we just need any type of shackle to do that with. So now we should be able to combine these 3. And then last but not least, I should be able to combine in the Celestial Magnet in order to get the Celestial Cuffs. So this will be a pretty significant upgrade. So let's go ahead up here to our Tinker table and let's start combining these things. So first and foremost, I should be able to do the Mana Regeneration Band. So this increases maximum mana by 20 and also increases our mana generation rate. Let's go ahead and make that thing. And now let's check out the Magic Cuffs. The Magic Cuffs increases maximum mana by 20 and restores mana when damaged. So a nice little upgrade there. And then one step further, the Celestial Cuffs. This increases pickup range for mana stars and also restores mana when damaged. So this thing is amazing. And we also got a fleeting bonus here. I'll probably re-roll that because that is not very good. But as you can tell, this is going to be a very good accessory to have for a mage. It's going to be a very, very good accessory to have for a mage. Hey, we got Arcane Celestial Cuffs. That's plus another 20 mana. I wonder what the best is, though. I really don't know. Angry Celestial, Quick Celestial, Intrepid. There's got to be some better ones, right? Warding? Warding's not bad. Warding is definitely not bad. I may actually look up what's the best modifier to get on this thing before I really decide and keep wasting money. So I think I'm going to keep the warding for right now, and if we need to change it out later, we can. Alright, so let's talk about some other things that I can theoretically craft. I just got a ton of Shadow Scales and also Demonite ore from the fight with the Eater of Worlds over in that other world. So I think what I can do is come over here and make a fair amount of Demonite bars. 91, yeah, I would say that's a fair amount. And we now have the ability to make the Shadow Scale armor, or the Shadow Mail armor. I'm not entirely sure how this is pronunciated, but as you can see, we can get the Shadow Helmet. Perfect. Then we can get the Shadow Scale Mail. Scale Mail. And then we can get the Shadow Greaves. Nice. So that is another set of armor completely done. We can always get the Light's Bane as well. And can I go ahead and get the bow? That is the Demon Bow. Is there anything else that I may want to get instead? The Breaker. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Malice? What is that made from? Demonite bar? Dude, there's a lot of things that I can make with the Demonite. Interesting. I don't have enough for all of it, though. I guess let's go with the Demon Bow. Just so that I can complete the range stuff. And then I guess let's go with the yo-yo. Because I don't really need the axe for any reason. And I don't think that I really need the pickaxe for any reason. And the breaker is just a hammer. So yeah, let's go with the weapon. Let's go with the weapon. So this is all of the shadow stuff that we can make, which is really cool. Now, the shadow armor, I believe, has a really interesting effect to it, where you kind of look like a glitch, kind of like a glitch in the system. Let's go ahead and equip it real quick, and I'll see if I can show that to you guys. We will have to take off our cosmetic stuff, I believe, though, to see it. Let's put all of our vanity items up for a moment. There we go. Can I just shift click them? Nope, of course I can't, because that would be too easy. All right, and I'll even take my cape off as well. Okay, so here is our armor, and as you can see, does kind of this glitch thing. Let me zoom in for you guys so you can see it a little bit more properly. Check that out. Now, I don't know if this has any special effects with it, but I do know that it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Now, this is not good armor by any means. It only has 6 defense, 7 defense, and 6 defense. So our molten armor is much better. It brings us up from 23 up to 29, but it is still a armor set that we needed to equip. So, not bad. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put all of this down here in our armor room, and I think I'll even set this on display because I think it's a really cool looking armor. So let's come down here and open up our inventory. And do I have auto pause on again? I do indeed. Huh. Oh well. There we go. Put on our boots, put on our chainmail, and put on our shadow helmet. Nice. We're filling up this room with armor. Eventually, I'll probably either expand this room or I'll replace these armors with better armors. But for right now, this will do fine. I'll go ahead and put up the yo-yo and the sword as well. And then up here, we will put away our bow. Nice. Alrighty, ladies and gents. Well, let me go ahead and find out what other items that we can get before entering into hard mode. And now we'll bring you guys back in just a minute. Alrighty, ladies and gents, we are back, and I have found a couple other items that I want to make here in this video, and then I also want to show you guys some things that I've been working on off camera. It's not progression based really, it's more preparing for progression. But first, let's talk about some more upgrades that we can get. First and foremost, I want to head up here to our furnace, and I would like to craft up some obsidian skulls. I think I just need one for the time being. And then I also want to drop down into our accessory chest and grab out our Cobalt Shield. What this will allow us to do is to combine these two and make an Obsidian Shield, which is quite the upgrade for us. We actually don't use a shield right now, and this could be pretty useful if we're going to use a melee class. Now, I think we actually need to do this over at the Tinkerer's Workshop, not at the furnace. So let's head up here to our Tinkerer's Workshop, and there we go, the Obsidian Shield. It adds 2 defense, it grants immunity to knockback, and grants immunity to fire blocks. Now, fire blocks is different than lava protection. It is only immunity to hailstone, fire, things like that, things of that sort. It prevents us from getting the burning debuff, but if we fall into lava, we still take damage. So it is useful, not as useful as it could be, though. Anyway, Obsidian Shield. Nice. That is perfect. And I think we actually have a shield slot. Is that correct? Let's see where this thing actually goes. No, it takes up a spot here. And I don't know that I like that. So this is 3 defense. I wonder if I can get this Obsidian Shield to where it has a some type of tinker name on it. Also, another thing is that this bee, this armored honeycomb, this thing is not going to be good forever, and it's only giving us +3 defense, and the bees are, they're nice, and I really like them, but once we enter into hard mode, the bees are going to be really, really underpowered, so we need to start thinking about getting rid of that. Anyway, let's see if we go ahead and try and reforge this shield. It does let me. Okay, so let's reforge it a couple of times. There we go. That is the warding obsidian shield. I don't know what the best for this is, but warding is usually pretty good. That's +4, so that's 6 defense from this one item, I believe. So that is not bad. That'll bring us up to 32 defense total. I think that's pretty good. I think that's a pretty good replacement. Plus, it grants us immunity to knockback. Plus, it grants me protection against fire. I think that is one heck of an upgrade. So, right now, we have the Hard Flipper, which is, this allows us the ability to swim, which is pretty nice. We have the Intrepid Blue Horseshoe Balloon, which allows the holder to double jump and increases our jump height and negates fall damage. This one has 3% melee speed. I may reforge this a couple of times to see if we can get something better. Plus 3% damage isn't bad. Plus 4% damage is even better. Nice. I guess I'll take that for right now. This is plus 4% damage. This is plus 2% damage. This is the Spike Spectre boots. I feel like we can probably get something a little bit better than that. That's guarding. Not bad, but not perfect. Violent. That is 4% melee speed, though. And now we're back to menacing. Jagged. Warding is not bad. Not what I want. I would like to have something that does a fair amount of damage. Man, we are burning through money here, aren't we? Man, I think warding is actually going to be the best that we can get. That's the best that we're getting from our rolls. We're up to 36 defense now. That feels insane. Menacing Shark Tooth, warding, menacing Blue Horseshoe. I think the last thing that we need to do is the Hard Flipper. And I really don't know that I want to use this. This only grants me the ability to swim, which is nice if I'm underwater, but I'm not underwater whenever I'm battling usually. So maybe we can find some other accessory real quick that I can fill in that last slot with that is pretty good. So, I'll tell you what, let me go to the wiki, see what all accessories I have that I can potentially craft at the moment, and I'll bring you guys back in just a minute. Alrighty, ladies and gents, we are back, and I think I've decided to go with the Menacing Feral Claws. This is something that's relatively easy to find, but it gives us 12% increased melee speed as a default buff, plus I got the Menacing Reforge on it, which gives us another plus 4% damage. So that's actually a pretty significant increase. I mean, it's not amazing, and I would rather something really interesting and cool, but at this point in the game, there's not really a whole lot of accessories for us to play around with at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and equip that, and that ends us up with 4 defense, 4 damage, 4 defense, 4 damage, and 4 damage. So that is not bad at all. That's pretty well balanced, I would say, in fact. So I am not worried about that at all. I think we're doing pretty good with our gear at the moment. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop down here, and I'm going to put up our flippers just like so. And now I would like to show you guys something that I have been working on off camera. Excuse me, by the way, I have something stuck in my throat at the moment. Dang it! Oh no! This is horrible! We're fine. We're good. We're going to make it, I think. Also, this is another good equipment that I'll probably be using whenever we use some more magic-based attacks. Right now, we're mostly focusing on melee, so that's kind of what I'm focusing my gear over here on. But anyway, what have I been planning? What have I been working on off camera? Well, let's head over to the map. Whenever we are in hard mode, there's going to be a couple of things that happen. First and foremost, and one of the biggest things that is going to happen, is we are going to beat the wall of flesh, which is going to give us a lot of new creatures in the world, and also a lot of new enemies. But not only that is going to happen, but we are also going to get new places of corruption and hollow in our world. So corruption, or I guess in this case crimson, is the biomes that we have already seen. This biome over here is crimson, and this biome over here is also crimson. Now, whenever you enter into hard mode, what is going to happen is these biomes are going to start spreading. And unless you contain the spread, then they will spread indefinitely until they cover your entire map. Now, you can fight back against the Crimson later on in the game by talking to, I believe it's your Dryad. She will actually sell you ways to combat the Crimson, but I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to have to deal with that early on and deal with all of this Crimson and trying to rush to cleanse it. So what I did was I made a border all the way around our Crimson, both of our Crimson areas, 6 blocks wide. I actually took bombs, which bombs, in case you did not know, have exactly a 6 block wide blast radius. So all I did was I took bombs and I went all the way around the Crimson biome. And I'll take you over to the first one and just show you guys kind of what I mean. It's basically just a massive, massive hole all the way around the Crimson biome. It's actually pretty cool, and I got a ton of blocks and stuff from doing it, so we should have some building materials for a fair amount of time. For a fair amount of time indeed. But this is all in preparation for hard mode. Hard mode is going to make the Crimson start spreading, and that is no good. That is not something that I want to deal with at the beginning of hard mode. I'd rather put that off fighting that for quite a while. So here is our first border here, and as you can see, it's just a massive hole, and it goes all the way down alongside the Crimson. And as you can see on our mini map over here, it just kind of goes all the way as far as you can go, all the way around the Crimson. So I just blew all of this out with some bombs. As you can see, we got pretty close to the Crimson on some parts. And on the other Crimson biome, I'm actually pretty much right on top of the Crimson. I tried to cut it a little bit closer because I didn't have a ton of bombs left. So as you can see over here, I went right alongside the Crimson on this side, and then I went up and then around and up and over. And theoretically, whenever the Crimson starts spreading, only this section of our map will be contaminated, and it won't spread over to our desert, and it won't spread over to our jungle. This is the hope. This is the hope that this will contain the Crimson for long enough. Now, there is another issue. Once we beat the wall of flesh, I hear something. I do hear something, and I also see something. Hello, brothers! Oh, wow, this is actually a lot of you guys. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's go back to the base. I don't want to deal with that. There is another thing that we have to be wary of. Once the Crimson is starting to spread there, and we beat the wall of flesh, there's actually going to be a diagonal pattern that comes out from the center of the map in this direction and in this direction. And what those diagonals are going to do is place some Crimson blocks in our world to randomly start spreading. So I may end up with a Crimson biome down here. I may end up with one up here. I could end up with one anywhere along this kind of V shape on our map, and that will slowly spread over time. In fact, I probably won't even notice that it's there until I'm caving one day and I happen upon it, because it is a very, very slow spread, but eventually it will start overtaking our biomes. Now, what does this mean for the series? Well, that means that we're going to have to do a bit of prep work before we enter into hard mode. I want to make sure that I have all of my ducks in a row before we go and start killing the wall of flesh. Right now, I could easily kill the wall of flesh. I have no doubt about that. I think that I could take it out very easily. But I want to actually make some artificial biomes around my world in order to prepare for in case the Crimson happens to destroy our world. Now, I've been talking about Crimson this whole time, and I haven't even talked about Hollow. Hollow is another biome that is going to affect our world, and it is, just like the Crimson, going to take over a random biome, usually on one of the outside edges of the map. I believe it likes to take over desert, but I think it can take over absolutely anything, whether it be desert, jungle, anything like that, it can take over. Now, the Hollow region is kind of like a pretty butterfly and unicorns and pixies area, but it's not safe. The unicorns are hostile, the pixies are hostile. It looks cute and fluffy and cuddly, but it is not. And this is also a biome that can spread in our world. It is one of those biomes that will slowly overtake your world if you do not contain it. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do about the Hollow yet. My idea, and this is kind of a general idea, is whenever the Hollow is spawned, what we will do is go and do the exact same thing that we did in the Crimson biome on the other side of the map, and blow up on each side of the Hollow biome all the way down to where the Hollow ends, basically. That's a plan, and I like that plan. I just don't know that I have enough bombs to do it. I have enough money to buy the bombs, so I guess it's not really that big of a problem, but it is something we need to prepare for. I want to have the ability to recreate every biome before we go into hard mode. So if I need to make an artificial jungle, I can make an artificial jungle. If I need to make an artificial desert, I can make an artificial desert. Any biome that I need artificially created, I want to be able to make that before we enter into hard mode. This is just something for my own sanity sake. This is probably a bit overkill, and I understand that, but I'm terrified. I'm terrified of my world being overrun by Hollow and Crimson. I know that they spread slowly, but still. Anyway, I'm going to get prepared. I am going to go and collect the resources that we need to make each one of these artificial biomes, and then in a future episode, we will likely be creating them. But I'm going to go ahead, I will bring you guys back in just a minute when I have some of those materials collected. Alrighty, ladies and gents, we are back, and I am done with my doomsday prepping. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to make fun of me for this in the comments section down below, that I actually went through the trouble to do this, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So, here is what we have. First and foremost, we have a, just in case the forest biome gets overrun, we have an emergency forest biome kit. We have some dirt blocks, we have some grass seeds, and we have some acorns. This will allow us to simulate the forest biome, which is the biome that we are in right now. Next, I need to be able to simulate a desert biome. A desert biome is defined by 1001 sand blocks, and that's pretty much it. As long as you have 1001 sand blocks, you can simulate a desert. So I also added in some cactus to this as well. It's not needed, but it's one of those things that I'm going to add in for decorative purposes and stuff like that. Next, a simulated jungle. Now, what you actually need is jungle grass in order to make a simulated jungle, but I'm going to add some mud blocks to our simulated jungle in order to prepare for hard mode. There's a specific type of block that uses mud blocks in order to spawn, so I'm gonna kind of do a bit of trickery with the game with this, with adding this to the jungle biome. And then next we have the snow biome. This is just 300 of either snow or ice, counts as a snow biome, so this is probably going to be the easiest one to create. And then last but not least, we have the mushroom biome. And this is one that I'm actually really looking forward to making, and we'll probably have to make 2 of these. We'll probably have to make one up here on the surface and then one underground. Another thing that I forgot to mention, the jungle biome, I could do this on the surface and underground, but I get the exact same thing underground as I would if I remade this thing on the surface. So I think I'm just going to stick with the underground portion of the jungle. I don't think I'm going to make an above ground version. Desert, I'm probably just going to make an above ground version. Forest, I'm probably not going to make this at all. This is just in case. And then the snow biome, I'm really not worried about this one either, but just in case, I'll probably make something small in order to simulate the snow biome. But anyway, that is my doomsday prepping out of the way. This is my artificial biomes chest that we can start working on very gradually. This doesn't have to be done immediately, but it's something that I want to get done as a safety precaution, mostly. This is a safety precaution for a lot of things. First off, it's a safety precaution for the biomes themselves and all the things that you can get out of the biomes from the creatures, but also a safety precaution from things like fishing, things like materials. Just in general, it's good to have this. I feel. I don't know. Maybe this is just I'm overworking myself. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wrap up today's video. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like on the video, as well as if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a great day. Also, off camera, I'm probably going to do a bit of fishing, just FYI for you guys.